This is the detective search for Nita Kennel Club. Sunday afternoon, May 19th. We had a total of 6 hides, 8.5 minutes. There were 5 exhibitors, 1 qualifier. All day long, everything down here was in relative shade due to cloudy skies. And about 10 minutes before we started to run, the sun started to come out. And that created some additional challenges for the competitors. This was our start line here at the red dots. The yellow dots were our boundary marker. The whole front of the building was in play. We came all the way down to here. We had 2 toys out here as distractors. It came all the way down to the end of the building. We had very little wind today, 1 to 2 miles per hour, blowing in this direction. The dogs all worked the wall really nicely and got into the first hide, which was right underneath this part of the frame. There was a mirrored hide opposite, right underneath this part of the frame. So we had 2 hides in between the door that goes into the building. Some dogs caught this hide and the handlers called it correctly. We had a couple of dogs that wrapped around the building a little bit and then worked their way back, and there was a little miscommunication between handlers and dogs as far as whether or not there could have been a second hide. Those were the only 2 hides outside. We then came into this large building. The total square footage of our search area was 3,144 square feet. The entire building was in play. The hide that was outside the door started to collect along this wall, and we had a couple dogs that falsed here. We also had dogs who worked this out beautifully. This entire wall of the building was blank, all the way back to this part of the wall and the double doors. In the back here, on this side, there was an inaccessible hide underneath the pegboard, sitting right on this piece of wood, tucked behind. We had a couple of dogs that sourced this beautifully. As the sun came out, it started to heat the back of the building, and this odor started to get pulled out. So we had a pretty wide yes zone here. There were 3 other hides here, fairly close convergence due to the door opening and closing. We had a hide underneath this bench that was actually working its way all the way around and also getting trapped underneath some of the wood and the pegboard on that wall. There was a hide underneath this corner of the table, and there was another close proximity hide on this corner of the table. These 2 hides were collecting along the wood and underneath the pegboard here, and the dogs did a fantastic job of working it back to source. All the hides were sourced by some of the dogs, and the 1 dog who qualified did an absolutely fantastic job. Congratulations to everyone.